What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm very excited for this video today because I got 4 more Jedi. These Jedi are ones that I've been looking at ever since I started collecting all the Jedi, and I just always put them off because they are very rare Jedi, typically pretty expensive because they are Toys R Us exclusives, and they're just ones that people really just collect to have all the Jedi, and also just they're very good at like building up your Jedi army, I guess. So for that reason, they are very hard to find, and thankfully I was able to get 4 of them on eBay within the past week. 2 of them arrived last week, and then the other 2 arrived yesterday. So I've been waiting to make this video whenever they all arrived, and I am just beyond happy and hyped about being able to get these because, like I said, they're very rare, and they're ones that you know are hard to find and very desirable. You know, people really want to get these figures. So yeah, but without further ado, let's start with the first one here, and this guy is Sefjet Josal. So yeah, Sefjet Josal. Pretty interesting name, but he came in the 4-pack, the Toys R Us 4-pack of Jedi. Now this is basically something that Toys R Us did, I believe in 2012, 2013. No, it must have been 2012 because it was before Disney. Maybe it was 2011 actually, because it was before Disney had the rights to Star Wars. But they basically would make these Geonosis Arena 4-packs, and they would make like 3 random Jedi that were like seen for a split second in the Battle of Geonosis, or sometimes even ones that weren't even seen at all, and they just make up Jedi. But they would basically just do it so kids could have just more random Jedi, you know, just have Jedi that necessarily weren't super popular, or, you know, just be able to have those figures, and then it would come with 1 clone. But to get the set sealed nowadays is going to cost you about $300 or over, which is crazy. Each figure individually goes for about $100, 70 to 100. So they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. The only one that I have had prior to this lot of the Toys R Us exclusives was Silig Kinjin, and he is very, very rare. Honestly, one of the most rare ones from the Toys R Us exclusive wave, and he is that guy there with the brown tunic and the black hair. And I picked him up back in April because I was able to find him for 60 bucks on eBay, and since then, every now and again, I like to check up and see the listings for him, and currently there are no listings for Silig Kinjin. You know, again, these are just rare figures, and people don't like to sell them because they're cool. So anyways, Sefjet Josal, he's one that I had been looking at on eBay for months and months, and I never really thought I'd be able to get him, but to be able to get him is really a dream come true. And he actually is seen in the movie for a split second. You can see him, and I think they did a very good job capturing him in figure form. Obviously he's bald, he's a bald head. There's his face, and his tunic is a very interesting color. I do like it. It's like a light nougat brown sort of color. And this is the same mold as Joe-Clad Danva and the Rodian Jedi, and the Luke from the New Order. So this mold has been used a lot for a lot of different Jedi, but I think it's a good mold. Very good mold. And yeah, all new head sculpt and everything. So yeah, and he came with a blue lightsaber. So there is Sefjet Josal. Very, very cool. He came yesterday. And with him, I got another Jedi, but I'm actually going to show this one first. So the next one we have is Sarissa Jeng. So you might remember seeing her in the Geonosis Arena in Attack of the Clones. I personally do, because I just remember seeing her hair and being like, what? Yeah, she has a very scuffed hairline, as you can see. She was not blessed with a good hairline. But yeah, here she is. Now, she came in the same pack as Sefjet Josal. So she came with him. and she is very cool. She has like the same sort of robe situation that Kiadi Mundi had. It's the same thing that Jolie Bendo had from Knights of the Republic. So it's a very cool, interesting robe. But it is an actual one that like multiple Jedi had. They had this kind of robe that looked like a tunic of some sort, hood in the back. And I think that it's very interesting. Her like orangish boots and everything. But yeah, there's a closer look at her face. Pretty cool. And yeah, so again, these figures usually go for about 70 bucks. And all the listings for Sarissa I had seen were like, they had sold $70. I usually go to eBay and I go to recently sold. And they were, for the most part, about $70. Well, it was, I believe it was June 11th, was whenever this big auction was gonna end. This guy was basically selling his whole Star Wars collection, and he had like all the very rare Jedi you could think of. He had all the Toys R Us Jedi. He had a bunch of just random rare Jedi, like the Rodian Jedi, and he had this Jedi Master from the Jedi Trading Pack, Disney Park exclusive. He just had all these guys. He had Seth Jet, you know, he had them all. And so I was like, you know what? This is my chance to like try to pick up a few of these guys, try to snag them, because auctions you can typically get the figure for cheaper depending on how many people are watching the auction. Well, the thing about this guy is, since he was selling so much and you know, he had so much up for auction, a lot of people were seeing it. A lot of people like knew about what he was selling. So everything had like 40 watchers. So she was one of them, and her bid ended up ending at like 70 bucks. But luckily on the same day, there was another bid going on for her that was ending that only had like 10 watchers. And I swooped in on that one at the last minute, and I was able to get her for 35 bucks, which is an incredible deal. I was super hyped about that, really excited about it, because 35 bucks is a great deal for one of these Jedi nowadays. And then yeah, the other bid ended a couple hours later for $70, and I was like, you know what, I'm glad that I snagged this one. And I wanted to try to win bids on other Jedi from that auction. I didn't end up winning any of it because I ended up having to go to a friend's house that night, and so I didn't want to like be on my phone trying to win a bid while I'm over at my friend's house. And so I ended up not winning anything, but it all worked out in the end because I was able to get what I was trying to win for cheaper, actually. So anyways, there's Sarissa. Now the next Jedi is the last Jedi from this 4-pack, and he's a very cool one. It is Roan Shrine. So Roan Shrine, I don't believe that he was seen in the movie. I looked it up, and on Wikipedia, it basically just says like he was a Jedi Master. You can find him in this Toys R Us 4-pack. It's kind of it, you know. But he's a very cool Jedi, and I do think it's kind of cool how his name is Roan, because whenever I was younger, my favorite book series was the Jedi Academy books. I believe it was made by the guy who made Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I might be wrong about that, but it was kind of Diary of a Wimpy Kid style. But I loved it. I loved the books, and the main character, his name was Roan, and he kind of had like the same color hair as this guy. So I like to think that the author might have took inspiration from this character, maybe, I don't know, but yeah. So I actually ended up getting him in a lot with Seth Jet for, the listing was for 100 bucks, but I offered 90 and he accepted. So I got him for 90 bucks for the two of them. And to me, that's a pretty good deal, because considering that each individual listing is about $70 for both of them, getting them both for 90 is 45 each. So I figured that was a pretty good deal. And also, I did want to say, for those wondering, these 4-packs retailed for $40 at the time. So each figure was about $10, but again, they were Toys R Us exclusives, and not too many people picked them up just because they were, you know, Toys R Us exclusives, Jedi, I don't know. I mean, there just weren't many to begin with, I guess. And so They're very rare now. They're very desirable because, you know, Star Wars will never do something like this again, where they just release random Jedi from the Geonosis arena. But yeah, Roan is pretty cool. He's one of the more desirable ones because of how he looks. He's just very cool. He comes with this, you know, robe, which, you know, I have quite a bit of these 3.75-inch robes. None of them sit as well on his head. Like, none of them do. None, they all, like whenever you try to put it on the figure's head, there's like a big hoop over top. This one sits perfectly on the head, like with the way that the seam was sewed. I mean, it's incredible. Like, it actually sits on his head like a robe should. But you can go ahead and take it off here, and there's his face. He got a goatee, and then he has a bit of longer hair in the back. And then his tunic is just, you know, a basic tan tunic. And I do like the colors of his pants and boots. I think that's pretty interesting. But yeah, there's Roan Shrine. I think he's pretty cool. Oh man, I just cannot get over how well the tunic sits on his head. That's incredible. Okay, and then the last one. The one that is the most rare out of all of them. Just because she's very desirable. The one that I really had wanted for a very long time as well. The one that came the first out of all of these. Okay. Basically, we have Kotkin. Kotkin, I don't know. Kin. They all have very interesting names. Some of them are hard to say. But this is Kotkin. And she is one that is very, very expensive because A, she looks normal for the most part. I feel like Sarissa might not be as expensive because she doesn't really look that normal with her hairline. But I feel like people just want like a normal looking female Jedi. And if that's what they're after, then Kat Quinn is the best candidate for that. Let me get it to focus here. But yeah, like I was saying, like, see how her hood is, it's not sitting down. That's just, you know, that's just how they made them, I guess. But first things first, the cloak is a very unique color. I've never seen a cloak this sort of grayish color, which is very unique, very interesting, very cool. She uses the same body mold as Stas Ali, but it's a completely different color scheme. Her tunic is the same color as her robe. White pants and then brown boots. Completely exclusive head sculpt here. As you can see, there she is. And her hair is actually very similar to Roan Shrine's. In the back there, it's just a little bit longer. And yeah, she comes with a green lightsaber. But yeah, so again, she's just one of the most desirable ones. The mass selling of these Jedi on eBay that guy was doing, all of these guys were ones he was selling. I mean, he had every Jedi from these 4-packs, but the one with the most amount of watchers was Kotkin. And I really wanted to win her. So I actually, like, I don't know why I did this, but a day before the bid was going to end, I bidded, I think it was like $85 on her, and I was winning the bid. And then the next day, I figured out that I had to go to my friend's house, and the bid was ending while I was going to be there, and I didn't want to be stressed out about having to win the bid, so I looked up Kotkin listings, and literally that hour, there was a listing of her for 80 bucks, and I was like, okay, wait, I can get this one for 80 bucks and just get it now and not have to worry about it. Or I can just hope that I win the auction that I already am spending $85 on. So what I ended up doing was I bit the bullet and I got it for 80 bucks. And then I messaged the guy who I bid on, and I said, do you mind if you can retract my bid? And he did. So I ended up getting her for 80 bucks and it all worked out. But yeah, very, very thankful for that. Also, while I was at the toy department, I did see her for $75 in the case. And I was like, okay. I mean, I wasn't upset about it because you're going to spend more on eBay. That's just how it works. But 75 and 80 is not that big of a difference. But I am just so thankful to have these guys, and they are truly so cool. I'm really excited to add them to my display. That's the thing, I had to hold off. So I had these two came very quick, and then I ordered these two last Sunday, but then the guy, for whatever reason, he was like, oh, sorry, I can't ship these until Thursday. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, I don't know why you wait almost 5 days to ship something, but that's what he did, and it's okay. I mean, they came yesterday, and they're all here now, so I'm very excited to put them into my display, and I'm just so thankful to, like, the fact that I was able to get 4 of these. I did not think, I thought getting 1 was insane, and it is, but then to get 4 more of these Toys R Us exclusive Jedi is just a dream come true. There's only one that I don't have now from the Toys R Us exclusive wave, and it is a guy named K. Mars Radath, and he is very similar to Sora Bulk, who I have, which that's partly why I haven't gotten him yet, because I'm just like, do I really want to spend $70 on a figure that's literally the same thing as Sora Bulk, just a little bit more articulated? So, I don't know. I might try to get him on a bid for cheap or something, but as for now, I'm very thankful for these ones, and yeah. So anyways, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.